Yeah. Cavalier mentality, I charge through every bracket. King on the court, LeBron legacy in my fabric. Ground when I'm grinding, dog pound in the trenches. Guardian at the gate, protecting all my riches. Cavs in my veins, championship parade route. Browns in the mud, fourth quarter, never doubt. Guardians of tradition, progressive feel my temple. Training like I'm drafted, work ethic monumental. In the zone, can't stop my ascension in the zone. Discipline my weapon in the zone. Greatness by intention in the zone. It's my resurrection in the soul.
Yo, happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a blessed, productive, positive, and also, of course, safe weekend. Welcome to this episode of EnDaZone Sports. I'm your host, the man with the plan, with the cleanest ways in all the land, Spivey. And y'all see who I got with me in the building. Kills the truth. Was good.
What's good, everybody? How everybody doing?
You say what?
I said, how everybody doing?
Well, I guess they can hear you, and I guess they doing okay. What's up, man? How was your weekend?
My weekend was cool. Everything was going good.
You say what?
I said my weekend was cool. Everything was doing good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Weekend wasn't too bad for me. Still doing my recovery thing. You know. For the surgery and all, it's gonna be a long road to recovery thanks to the man y'all see on the screen, Kales.
I am not the reason, but I am sorry for that.
You the reason.
I'm the reason for a lot of stuff.
Hey, what they say, the first thing to recovery is admit. So,
Hey, I'm trying.
You say what? I
say I'm trying.
Sometimes your trying ain't good enough. You gotta go what they call that job spots above and beyond. You gotta start practicing that, going above and beyond. Trying just ain't good enough nowadays. It just ain't good enough at all.
I'm beginning to believe that.
You should have been believing it. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in on the DSMN network, the best network in the land. And I appreciate everybody that's tuning in on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel for more content like you're about to receive tonight. With that being said, we got a lot we're going to touch on today. Today is just strictly what we call NBA talk. We got the NBA playoffs that start tomorrow with the play-in tournament. We're gonna touch on the play-in games, and then we're going to touch on the Eastern Conference playoff bracket, who we got to win, what we expect from each series, therefore. Also, your man Doc Rivers out as Bucks head coach as of yesterday after the game. Is that a good thing? Or how would that impact the Giannis Antetokounmpo situation in Milwaukee? And where do the Bucks go next? Where they go from here as far as their coaching search? So with that being said, we're going to start with the Doc Rivers. Hold on. Yeah, we're going to start with the Doc Rivers. He is out as Milwaukee head coach after 3 seasons. Milwaukee have not reached the playoffs yet again. They had a lot going on this year. A lot of injuries, mainly to their main star, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is still out. Well, out for the rest of the season. They ain't got no plan. But what's your take on the whole Doc Rivers being out of Milwaukee?
Well, it was time for Doc to leave. Doc really never got that team going. Giannis really was injured during his tenure. They made the playoffs twice, but also got knocked out. They tried to
tenure, not tenure.
Tender, my bad.
Tender. It's
Tender.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, when he was there, he really didn't get them to where they were supposed to be going. Like Mike Budenholzer got them to the championship, which Doc Rivers was supposed to be that man to lead them back to where Giannis was before. But unfortunately, Dame got hurt. They got rid of Dame, traded for Miles Turner. Miles Turner really ain't panning out to be that other big name player to get there, to get them to the promised land. So it was time for him to go. They need to move on and get a better coach suited for the young people that they're gonna start doing. They're gonna start getting, because now this is a rebuilding year. Doc look like he might be going up to the front office to try to help or try to be an advisor. But they should go ahead and trade Giannis. That's the first thing they should do. Just go ahead and get rid of Giannis, go and rebuild.
I like Doc Rivers. I like him as a coach. He's a great regular season coach. Let me change this. Voice phone thing. I don't like that. Yeah. There we go. I like Doc Rivers. I like him as a coach, a regular season coach. One of the best there is. But for some odd reason, come playoff time, he just can't. He just couldn't get the job done. We know he lead the NBA and blown 3-2 leads. So he's known for that. He haven't won a championship since 07.
08 with the Boston Celtics.
08 with the Celtics. Hasn't won a championship since. Hasn't been in the championship picture since. He had a stint with the Clippers. They was doing good, but couldn't get past there. The almighty Golden State Warriors, they was having their troubles with them in the West, but still had a good team over there led by Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Lob City, the whole clan. Jamal Crawford was over there at one point in time, Mr. Handles himself. And then he went from the Clippers to, as you just said, Mike Budenholzer getting fired from Milwaukee because he was bumping head with the players, to then going to coach the Bucks. They went to the playoffs. I think the first 2 seasons the first season they was there. They went to the playoffs. I don't know if they
went to the season.
They
went to the season twice.
Yeah, last year they went to the playoffs as well, but this year they was hit with a plethora of injuries. I think them let go Dame, even though Dame didn't play this year. I think them letting go Dame was the beginning of the end, but that was a Doc Rivers decision as well. Trying to fill roster spots because they knew they weren't going to have Dame for the season. They bring in Miles Turner, as you stated. That didn't pan out. That's what they thought it was. I didn't understand why they picked up Miles Turner anyway. They could have kept Brook Lopez. They was basically giving out the same thing, giving the team the same production. But they decided they wanted to move in a different direction with Brook Lopez and bring in Miles Turner. Again, that didn't work out. Kyle Kuzma, don't know what happened to him. He couldn't unlock nothing in him. He wasn't playing well at all. And then you come back to this year, the confrontations he was having in the locker room with players, for what I've been hearing and what I've been reading about, wasn't nothing like too big to the point it got physical, but just still bumping heads with players, bumping heads with Giannis. You can't do that with your star players because we all know at the end of the day, the organization going to get rid of the coach instead of the player, especially if that player is a player like Giannis Antetokounmpo, star him like Giannis. So unfortunately, it's a bad situation for Doc. I think this might have been his last coaching gig. I don't see another team, unless they're a desperate team, to pick up Doc Rivers to coach them. I just hope he do, stay with the Bucks organization in the front office, as you said, to stay in the game of basketball. I don't see him going to another team, being no type of assistant coach, anything like that. Maybe he go back to commentary, how he was one year.
Yeah, he was good in that.
Hopefully he go back to that, but the knowledge of the game that he does have, he still can bring some type of what's the word I'm looking for?
You saying some type of cachet, some type of
cachet to the game. He still have his knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
He can still bring his knowledge, his way to feel the game, because he also was a player too. So that also gave him some credit in the locker room because he also played.
It's just sometimes with coaching, you run your course. And I think Doc Rivers have ran this course as a coach, especially the way things ended in Milwaukee. But go ahead.
But also, we'll talk about his playoff. He is only 6-10 in game 7s, which that tells me that he cracks under pressure for some reason. I mean, other than the Boston Celtics with Garnett and Ray Allen, he had that veteran team. With this team, he had, even with the Clippers, I didn't understand because he had Chris Paul, but even Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and Jamal Crawford, he could have still won some with the Clippers. But Doc is
Golden State. Well, nobody beating Golden State, man. I mean,
when you up 3-1, you should end it. I don't care who you is.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, you got 3 ample times to get this, and you are a great team, and you're supposed to be that great coach to get them over the hump. But Doc is in the top 6 of coaching wins. You know, it's Pop, Nelson, Sloan, and Lenny Wilkins. So I would give him credit for winning all them games, but he only get coaching jobs because of that Boston Celtics, because he won that chip with Boston with the Celtics. I think he could get another.
I mean, he's still a good coach. I'm not gonna say he was in all the other jobs because he got that one championship with Boston.
But he's still been living on that.
You said he's still been living on it.
Yeah, he's still been living on that.
How'd you figure that?
Because that's how, I mean, like we said before, in Game 7 he only 6-10. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
In Game 7 he only 6-10. In this playoff, he blow leads. So that Boston Celtics win has gave him some type of leeway. I'm not Doc. I would pick Doc. I think Doc can get another job because he just that good of a coach in a regular season. But when it comes to playoff, it seems like he forget how to coach.
Okay, make up your mind now. First, you like, you know, saying all this why he getting jobs because of the little Boston championship, but now you saying he's a good coach, so he could get another job. Make up your mind, man. Quit straddling in the fence.
I'm not switching. All I'm doing is saying
quit straddling in the fence.
Okay. Here you go. He could get another job because he's still living off that Boston.
I don't agree with the.
He won the title.
I'm not gonna agree. Still living off the Boston championship. That's the case. You can say that about a whole bunch of coaches,
and that's true.
That's been fired. But I'm not gonna say that for Doc Rivers again. Doc Rivers is a great regular season coach, but unfortunately, as we just stated, what up, JD?
What up, JD?
In the playoffs, I don't know if he was dealt the bad hand or on the wrong side of the brackets. I don't know what it is. But
most of the years he was a high seed though, wasn't he?
Again, I don't care what side of the bracket he was on to run it into what team. That was a great team, a good team, and he just couldn't get the job done. And that will be the downfall. If you want to put any stain on his coaching resume, will be that, you know, the blown leads in the playoffs, the 3-1 leads, the 3-2 leads, and, you know, as you stated, the 6-10 in the playoffs. So, but I hope Doc Rivers still stay around the game doing something. You know, I like Doc Rivers. He's a great man, first and foremost, and like I say, he's a great coach. Just playoff time, he
forgot how to coach.
Would do he just did the choke job. What do this mean for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Do you think them not Doc being gone now is going to have Giannis looking like, okay, I'll give it another shot, or do you think Giannis is just gone from the Bucks regardless of who they bring in as coach?
Giannis is gone. Sometimes I'm a believer that you stay with your team as a team, as a superstar, but it comes a time when that team is not showing you that they are wanting to win. There's 2 coaches that they got rid of. They got rid of a coach that won a title. Then they bring in another coach who won a title, who has won the title. Now they fired that coach. So now what coach is going to be bringing in? Now I'm getting a little older, you know, and I want to win. So I
think they could bring in there that'll do good. I like Sam Cassell.
But Sam Cassell been trying to get a job since it's something in the interviews. Maybe I'm just speculating. I'm not knowing, but I'm just speculating. Maybe it's something in the interviews because Cassell has a great basketball mind. He has a great basketball mind. So, but I feel I like Giannis should leave because it's time for Milwaukee to get younger and to rebuild over.
Milwaukee has a young team. Milwaukee is one of I think Miles Turner might be either him or Bobby Portis. I want to say it might be Miles Turner though.
They got Ryan Rollins, the point guard.
AJ
Kyle Kuzma is 30.
I mean, 30 is what they consider in your prime in the NBA.
Okay.
For real. So
the only players you have on that team is Ryan and maybe Green, the shooting guard. but he has nothing else. They have nothing.
Giannis just ain't had no help in Milwaukee.
Yeah. So now it's time. I know Giannis stated before that he don't want to go to nowhere where they build a super team or something. But Giannis again older. As you can see, his injuries are piling up now. He can't do a whole lot like he did before. So he need help to get to where he wanted to get to winning championships.
What you mean Giannis can't do what he did before? Yes, he can.
I mean, Giannis still can do what he do, but Giannis is getting injured a lot doing it. Giannis, so somebody need to take some off.
This was probably the first year that Giannis was really going. And to be
last year he was going through injuries.
Last year Giannis missed, I think it was 13 games last year. All right, he still played the max according to NBA 65 games. You know what I'm saying? He still played that. But I think this year might have been a big year, that the only year that Giannis really was going through injuries. And to be honest with you, I don't think he was really injured. I just think the Bucks was one of those teams, once they realized they wasn't going to make the playoffs or not even a play-in, and injuries just kept hitting them left and right. You know, Kevin Porter Jr. went down for a minute. I think the Bucks just started trying to tank.
To
get a draft pick, to get a high draft pick or whatever that is. So I think the Bucks was one of those teams that was tanking.
I can see that.
I don't know how true it was, but for what I was hearing, Giannis was wanting to play the last week or two of the season, and the Bucks wasn't allowing him, didn't want him to play, but he wanted to get out there and play. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if that was just something that was put out by Giannis and his camp to cover up what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I do think Giannis' days in Milwaukee is over with. JD, you brought up something interesting. You said he out of there, come to Cleveland. Giannis, that is. Well, the Cavs had an opportunity to get him in the offseason. I was one that had the question going out before the season started, should the Cavs trade for Giannis? And, you know, I was getting looked at and, you know, every which way informed, left and right, eye roll. What you talking about? Nah, man, we can't give up Evan Mobley. He's still young. But when you got a guy like Donovan Mitchell on your team, which we don't know the certainty of his future with us, regardless of what he say, anybody could change their mind like that, especially if we're not winning and we just being stagnant in one place come playoff time, which is first round and we get bounced out. You don't want to waste them years with Donovan. So I would have bust that move in the offseason to get Giannis over here in Cleveland. If I had to give up Evan Mobley, so be it. At least I know I'm getting a guy that's going to give me 30 and 15 every goddamn night.
Right. But in the beginning of the season, they wanted to see what Mobley was bringing to the table. So I know, but once again, it was Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell. Okay, so they were gonna try to see what's going on with the Big Four, what they call it, and then they saw what was happening to the Big Four. They had a chance to get them in the mid-season. They bust a move with Harden. Now they see what Mobley really is. So now they can go ahead and trade Mobley and bring Giannis, and people of Cleveland will be more better for doing that. So they had to bring back the Big Four before.
Here we go with the first one of the day. I don't give a damn about none of that. You got an opportunity to get Giannis out of the Antetokounmpo. Evan Mobley, you got to go. Because, again, Giannis is what they consider in his prime years. I know Giannis going to give me 30 and 15. I don't know what Evan Mobley, you know what I'm saying, like, was going to give me coming to this season. Okay, yeah, he did have a good season last year where he won the Defensive Player of the Year award. Offensively, he took a step. But I kept saying all season, I want to see the bigger step with Evan Mobley, and we haven't seen that this year. Now you look at it like, damn, well, maybe we should have bust that move. Because again, like I said, I know Giannis is going to give us 30 and 15. I don't give a damn about, you know what I'm saying, because Evan Mobley's still young or whatever it is it may be. I don't give a damn about none of that. I don't give a damn about, you know, if Darius Garland had to get put in the package. We was going to get something else besides Giannis.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But Darius Garland, what have you been giving us come playoff time? Now I'm getting a guy again. that's won a championship, that's going to go out there and play hard, that's going to give you everything every night, leave it out on the floor, compared to a guy that never showed up in the playoffs, which was Darius Garland. Mm-hmm. Last year, he was hurt. Since you want to talk about injuries, you can say about Darius Garland too. So I don't give a damn if he was gone. And then Evan Mobley. You know, I like Mobley. Yes, he is young. But again, that's just like saying, well, you know, we got let me see. Matt Strus still on our team. Not Matt Strus, but Jalen Tyson. You know, that's a young piece.
Right.
You know, Brian, damn. I don't want to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna use Brian because some may say, well, Brian is older.
Well,
he's old. You don't want to use him. So let me say a guy like let me see.
What you trying to do? You trying to build a team that
let's say a guy like I ain't gonna say Shea. I want to use a big in this situation.
What, like a big starter, like a star big, or a mini?
A player like in the same category with Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I'm gonna say
a big, like in the same spot as Giannis.
I'm gonna say Joker. Let's just take Joker.
Okay, the Joker.
Like saying, oh no, man, I don't want to give up, Jalen Tyson for no damn Joker. Nah, Jalen Tyson, young. What? You got me fucked up.
But
who else do y'all? Hello, who else do y'all want? Who else? Jalen Tyson and who?
But look at it this way. Look at it this way, though. Look at it this way. They saw how it played out, right? Now they they traded Darius Garland. Now they could go into next season, and now they could go ahead and use that ammunition to get Giannis. Now you got James.
Who's to say we was gonna give them this year? They gonna want that now. Now that they know that Giannis, you know what I'm saying, like feeling how he feeling, and now we really want him. Well, we could have had him last year. They not really trying to rob the bank for him.
But if Milwaukee is smart enough and was smart enough, they could get a first round pick, a couple first round pick, and Evan Mobley and something else to move off of Giannis. And then the Cavaliers is in a better position now with Harden, Mitchell, and Giannis instead of Mitchell, Giannis, and whoever else was going to play the point guard position. So that's how I'm looking at it from that optics. Because it was a report that the Cavaliers did offer Mobley. The Bucks turned it down. It was either VJ Erzakon from the 76ers or Mobley from the Cavaliers. And they turned it down, talking about they want to go into the off season. So that's why the Cavaliers pivot to go get James Harden with the Darius Garland trade.
No, that happened before the trade deadline. What you said at first was the scenario at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
I heard the same thing at the beginning, but it was with Milwaukee. See, I heard two different stories. One, I heard it was Milwaukee. Then I heard it was Cleveland. However it went, us as an organization, you get a generational talent like a Giannis Antetokounmpo, you got to bust that move. You got to pull that trigger. I don't give a damn what they asked for, as long as it wasn't Donovan Mitchell. I don't give a damn.
Right.
Let's go get Giannis. Let's go get him. So
I think Kobe Altman would have pulled that trigger. I think it was more of the Bucks because if you can see, Kobe Altman is not scared to pull the trigger on any type of deal. Huh?
I said he's definitely.
So that was Milwaukee getting the cold feet because they didn't want to the fans disappoint the fans. The fans didn't want Giannis to leave, even though Giannis kept telling them that he wanted to leave. So I think the organization of the Bucks got cold feet, and they was like, no.
I believe I don't want to say it was cold feet. What I'm gonna say is I think they would want to go into the season, as you was alluding earlier, to see what they had, especially acquiring Miles Turner, and they was looking at a Kyle Kuzma to be that second, maybe third option on that team in particular. On that team,
yeah. Kyle Kuzma ain't been nothing though the last couple of years.
Especially he only had that one good season with Washington.
In Washington, when he was with the Lakers, he was that rookie year.
Yeah, he was Lakers.
In Washington, he was doing his thing, and when he got to Milwaukee, it's like, what the hell? I forgot how to play.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that the Milwaukee Bucks didn't do well by training for Kyle Kuzma. I saw it. I saw why they did it, but then they got rid of Drew.
They traded for Kuzma, or did Kuzma?
They traded for Kuzma.
Come over there on free agent.
They got.
Washington gave him that bag. Washington gave him that bag.
Yeah.
For Chris Middleton, I believe Middleton.
Yeah, for Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
So it was Middleton and some other pieces went over there, and that was when they broke up the championship team right there. You saw that they was trying to rebuild to something different. Now they need to go ahead and rebuild for the future, and they need to just let Giannis. They could get a haul for Giannis. They could get a lot for Giannis. They could get back another quality big man or a guard or whatever they want for Giannis, and they could get the draft picks. See, what they should have did was trade them this year, because this year's draft is nice.
I think. No. It is a nice draft class, but I think for real, if Giannis do get traded this summer, which I believe he is, look out for New York. That's if see, I don't know how that's gonna work now, because they're not getting Jalen Brunson. That'd be defeating the whole purpose, because they want to with Giannis.
Right.
So now you got people like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Carl Anthony Towns. Now,
but Cat and Miles Turner clash though,
and that's what I was about to say. So, what would be the point unless Miles Turner be involved in that deal, or become a 3-team deal to where they move on from Miles Turner as well? And
yeah, I can see that too, though.
And maybe like a Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby or Josh Hart, something like that, and then some, which is going to happen. But yeah, Giannis, I don't think with Doc Rivers being gone as Bucks head coach, it's going to change anything for Giannis. I believe Giannis is out of there until I hear Giannis come out and say, I want to remain a Milwaukee Buck. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm going to believe until I see otherwise that Giannis days in Milwaukee is what they call over.
Yes.
It's over. It's over.
It's done.
Moving on, we're going to keep it in the NBA. It's playoff time, babies.
Playoff time. Good Lord.
Yes, it is. But we're starting off tomorrow with the play-in tournament, where you have the Miami Heat going against the Charlotte Hornets, Orlando versus Philly, Golden State versus the Clippers, and Portland against Phoenix. I think out of all these play-in matchups for the East and West, but I'm gonna stay with the East since today is gonna be the East show. Miami and Charlotte. Miami better watch out. Miami better watch out. I think Charlotte, throughout the course of the season, they was getting better towards the end of the season. They got even better. They was one of the hottest teams in the NBA. Their defense done rose the charts. Their offense done rose the charts. LaMelo Ball stayed healthy, balling out of control. I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. No? Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I said that was a blessing because, LaMelo is one of them players that get injured real quick. And I don't know what he did this year. He says keep it what his training regimen is. But I think Napo, the rookie, really helped him out playmaking wise by not Cooper really helped him by doing more playmaking than Melo had to this year.
I mean,
meaning that Melo didn't have to do everything like he was doing in the beginning. Brandon Miller was injured a little bit this year, but the rookie Khan did what he's supposed to do, help Melo with the playmaking ability.
Well, in this situation, since you don't watch games, I do. And I'll be watching Charlotte games. Taking nothing away from Kyle Kanupu. Neck to neck, in my opinion, right now with Cooper Flag for winning the Rookie of the Year. But he set a record for 3-pointers, shooting the lights out.
I was thinking about you
Some
know,
shit he don't even need to be
neighbors.
thinking about.
Neighbors.
Um, he shot the lights out for 3-point land. You know what I'm saying? So that was good. I think what helped LaMelo Ball out this year was the fact that he pretty much stayed healthy. He pretty much stayed healthy.
Right.
And we know LaMelo, you know, even coming into the league, we always felt like, I know I did, I felt like he was always better. He was the better out of all the ball boys. He was the best one. You know what I'm saying? So he was just one of those players that just stayed injured. And this year he was healthy enough to where we all knew about his talent. He just showcased his talent more, knocking down threes. His assist average was up from last year. He was averaging 6.5, 7 assists this year, I believe,
Right.
compared to last year, which was 4.5, 5. But I think going into this Miami game, I don't know what's wrong with the Heat. I think the Heat, another one of those teams that it's just time to start over there in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Move on from Tyler Hero. Continue to build that team around Bam or whatever it is it may be. But I just don't think Miami's going to have enough this series. And Miami like to play up pace, which plays right into the hand of the Charlotte Hornets.
Right.
That's what they want to do. Up tempo, get up as many shots as they can. But I don't think Miami's going to have enough in this game, and I think the Hornets is going to move on.
I picked the Hornets too to move on because Melo and the rookie and Brandon Miller. You know, Brandon Miller came along this season too. He stayed healthy this year too. He lead the Hornets.
Somebody help LaMelo. You know what I'm saying?
Brandon Miller. But I was talking about Brandon Miller really helped him on the scoring aspect with Miles Bridges. I was just talking about from the aspect of handling the rock more. I mean, bringing up the ball. Melo could get off the ball a little bit more. And
Kyle Kanupa won't really handle the ball like that. See?
I said, listen. I didn't say all the time. So don't. I ain't say all the time. I said some of the time.
You just sat up here and said Kyle Kanupa helped LaMelo Ball by handling the ball more, but handling the ball a lot, so Melo didn't have to do it. Which again is not the case. It's not the case.
That's the case that you think, but okay.
It's come from the same dude, y'all. That felt like Evan Mobley should be our point guard, bringing the ball up.
I never said that. See?
Yes,
well, okay. You know what? All right, we about to. So you about to put me. So you trying to put me on blast? Okay, here we go. His best year as a Cavalier was last year, right?
Yeah.
Mobley, right? And what was Mobley doing last year? Bringing up the rock and scoring.
And that's gonna be
so
so
he can do that.
That could be man. Okay, Kales, man. Okay. So I just seen the Kembe Mutombo bring the ball up too. So he can do that. Once again,
I ain't talking about all the time. I was talking about off of rebounds and off of transitions.
Evan Mobley's best because Evan Mobley brought the ball up. And
he was getting easy. He was getting easier shots than he was last year. This year.
Okay. Wrong again. So if that's the case, then why did it show more? And I know you're gonna come with something retarded and silly with this.
No, because everything I come is retarded. So yeah, I'm gonna come with something retarded.
The first thing to recovery is a mitten. And but you know, I'm not about to get off track with this Evan Mobley thing. I'm staying on track. But again, the Charlotte Hornets, I feel, is going to beat the Miami Heat in this play-in tournament, and they're going to get the 7th seed and have Miami face the winner between Orlando and Philly, which is the other game in the play-in tournament, Orlando and Philly. I'm going to take Philly in this. I don't know what happened to Orlando this year because you remember last year we had a whole bunch of conversations, especially when they played the Cavs in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
How we felt like their defense was just like smothering us, even though we ended up winning that series in 7.
Right.
It was a hard fought 7-game series. You know, they smothered us. They was tall. You know, we felt like the only thing they was missing was a guy who can spread the floor and score points alongside of Pablo Becerra. And they went out and did that. Brought him in, so we figured they solved that problem. Did it really? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and defensively, the defense ain't as good as it was last year. No. So I don't know what happened to Orlando. And then looking at them, the way they played against Boston yesterday, ain't no way in hell. Here come the second one. I don't give a damn. Who the hell, man? Listen, ain't no way.
Orlando win though.
No, ain't no way in hell Orlando should have let that Boston game yesterday be as close as it was and as tight as it was. And they played everybody. Boston played nobody. So that alone right there scares me with Orlando in this game against Philly. Even though they're going to be out with Joel Embiid.
That's another one. That's another person who can't stay healthy. But
go ahead.
But I feel what happened with Orlando is Franz Wagner has not been playing. They missing that other outside scoring threat that he's been out. Another player who can help Plabo score a little bit more. Desmond Bane came in there, and really Desmond Bane been okay. He really ain't been that Desmond Bane from Memphis that hit them shots.
Again, that's what he's wrong at, folks. Desmond Bane had a damn good season his first year with Orlando. It started out slow, maybe the first couple of weeks, but Desmond Bane has been playing damn good basketball for the Orlando Magic this year. You make a team.
I say it once again. I say it. Desmond Bane, you say he has a good year, but Desmond Bane has not been shooting the ball well for 3-point land as he was in Orlando. I mean, in Memphis. Okay. But they missing Franz Wagner, and everybody see they missing one of their other scorer, which is Wagner have not been playing. He been hurt with the ankle injury. Wendell Carter still is Wendell Carter. They also Jalen Suggs hasn't been playing as much. They point guard that was last year, the defensive playmaker.
He played more this year than he did last year.
But he hasn't been that present like he was. So once again, Orlando is missing Franz Wagner and other things. They bench play Cole Anthony ain't there, so they bench play has not been playing well either. Their defensive metric system has been went down. Last year they was playing good defense. They haven't been playing good defense this year.
I would definitely give you that. I do agree with.
So that's what's going on.
I don't know. I just know.
I mean, you watch the game, so you tell me.
Yeah, you're right. I do. So when you talk, I'm gonna let you talk. Then I'm gonna hit you with the and let you know whenever you're wrong. But
that's okay.
Game, like if it wasn't for Desmond Bane, a lot of these games this year, especially down the stretch where they needed to win, and you even look at the Boston game yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like it was him. They had to bring him back in the game, and when he came back in the game, he knocked it down shot after shot, 3 after 3. You know, he the one that brought him back in that game. So Desmond Bane, to me and to the league, look at his stats. Ask anybody in their mama. His first year in Orlando, was a success for him. Team-wise, I'm not gonna put it on why the team is looking how they looking, because Pablo, once again, I felt like he was another guy that you looked at how he played last year. You expected for him to take 2 steps this year. He didn't really start taking the 2 steps this year until the second half of after All-Star break, maybe a couple of weeks after All-Star break. He started driving to the basket more. He led the NBA in free throw attempts after All-Star break because he started getting more aggressive. I will give you some credit. I will give you credit on saying Franz Wagner. Him not playing, is crucial, was hurting them. But De Silva came in his absence and played good basketball to me.
Right. De Silva played great basketball this year.
In the absence of France.
Yeah, he was that consistent scorer that can help.
What did you want him to go out here and score? 20 plus? 20 to 25 plus?
That was Wagner was doing.
He was getting, but he's not. We all know.
I'm just saying.
He's a better player. Like, that's just like saying, me and you, they expect for you to come in and he just wasn't. De Silva is not a player like Franz. like fries.
That's why Vaccaro probably was.
But when De Silva got his minutes, he was averaging 14 and a half.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Off the bench, he played good. So, but again, I do agree as far as them missing Wagner for the majority of the season that they did. Even now, he went out in the Boston game, but came back in because of his ankle. So he's not 100% healthy. I just don't know. Defensively, I think that's where they took a turn at this year. If they would have played the same type of defense this year as they did last year, I don't think Orlando would have been in this situation because, again, they addressed what they needed on offense, which was shooting. Jalen Suggs have shot a career high in three-pointers percentage this year.
What's that dude's name? I forgot that dude's name.
Who?
The shot blocker, Isaac Austin. I forgot his name. I forgot his name. It was I forgot his name. Never mind. It was because you remember last year they was playing Austin, Isaac Austin.
I know you're talking about. Man.
Yeah. But he was defensive wise, he was playing real good though. But
no, I mean I ain't even gonna say. I mean he contributed what he did, but I just think Orlando taking a dip defensively this season was really hurt them. And again, one and then two not having Wagner out there. But I'm gonna take Philly to win this game. I still think Tyrese Maxey might be the best player on the floor or second best player behind Pablo, however you want to look at it. Mm-hmm. The resurgence of Paul George, how he been playing lately, I think is going to be good for the 76ers in this particular game, or one game to get in type thing. Paul George has been there, done that. I like DJ Edgecombe. I like what he's doing defensively. He's second on the team behind Joel Embiid in rebounds. As a guard coming from the guard position, so he's getting up there.
Yeah, he about what 6'7", 6'8"? That's a big dude.
Who VJ Edgecombe?
Yeah, I think he about 6'8". He's a big kid though.
He about DJ Edgecombe. Hold on, let me look that up. I think he about 6'3", 6'4", for real. Mm. I think Tyrese Maxey still might be. I mean, I can't find it right now. I ain't got time to find it, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take Philly.
Okay. I got Orlando.
You got Orlando. I got Philly, and then Miami. I got Miami. You got Orlando. I mean,
I got the Hornets.
Yeah, the Hornets. Yeah, I got the Hornets. Miami. Yeah, I got.
So it'd be like if it comes if the 76ers play Boston, and the matchup would play Boston if they win.
I ain't got time to figure all that out. We'll figure that out.
I got it. But
we're going to continue. With the games that we do know is happening, the Eastern Conference playoff bracket, you will have how it's looking now. Detroit will be playing either the winner between the 9-10.
What happened? Yeah,
they'll be playing them. But we got the Cavs. I'm just gonna go with the one that we know is popular. Okay. We got the Cavs, Raptors, Knicks, Hawks, with the Celtics having waiting on their opponents and the Pistons waiting on their opponents. Everybody thought it was going to be Atlanta and Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Our hometown Cavaliers. But Atlanta messed around and lost to us that Wednesday. They came back and beat us that Friday. Toronto handled their business. Orlando choked against Boston, which gave Toronto the number 5 seed. Mm-hmm. How you see this series panning out with the Cavs and the Raptors?
Well, I mean, in the beginning of the year, the Raptors had our number. They won.
A lot of people number at the beginning of the year. They started off.
They were 3-0 against us, so they swept the series, which is ironic because when Brian was here, they couldn't even beat us. But that was with Garland and everybody hurt, so they really haven't played against the James Harden led team and a healthy team. I feel like this series gonna be based on one thing. If the Cavaliers can shoot the ball well and play defense, they're gonna have to stop them perimeter shooters like R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Brandon Ingram from scoring the basket and hitting them threes. We are the worst three-point shooting, worst three-point defending team in the NBA, which I don't understand because we have the capabilities of playing good defense with Evan Mobley and leading us to the anchor. It's just effort. Mobley. Also, they got to stop them from getting on the transition. The Cavaliers have to stop the Raptors from getting back on the transition, or this is going to be a long series. I see the Cavaliers winning this in 5 games, though. After all I said that, if the Cavaliers are hitting their shots, no other team in the NBA can deal with the Cavaliers when they making their shots.
Question. Why is it always with you? Every time you say something, you start off saying the same thing. They got to stop somebody perimeter 3, especially a team that was one of the worst in the league on shooting the threes in Toronto.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you why. Because every bad shooting team, 3-point shooting team, do what against the Cavaliers? They shoot the ball 3 better against the Cavaliers because we are the worst defending the 3.
No, we're not.
Who the Cavaliers are the worst defending the 3.
No, they're not.
Yes,
not,
they are.
Not defending the 3. Not defending the 3.
Defending the 3.
They suck at defending the 3 because we give up too many transition 3-pointers.
That's what I just stated.
No, you didn't state that.
I stated that they have to stop from them getting from the transition. Because Toronto is not a good half court team. They get most of their majority of the buckets off of transition. But the Cavaliers give up the highest 3-point shooting in the NBA against any team. Regardless.
Toronto, second thing is,
I know Toronto is the lowest 3-point shooting team in the NBA.
If you did, you wouldn't have made nothing. But you said stopping Toronto's perimeter shooters and Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett and Brandon Ingram. Each of them 3, by the way, and Scotty Barnes being the worst, is shooting no higher than 31% from 3-point land. But they perimeter shooters in your eyes.
I didn't say they were perimeter shooters.
Yes, you did.
I never said they were I never said they were 3-point shooters.
You said we had.
I said the Cavaliers.
I didn't say 3-point shooters. You said the Cavaliers got to stop their perimeter shooters from stop them from shooting threes like Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and RJ Barrett. So my retort to that was each of them 3 you talk about perimeter shooters, they really don't have no perimeter shots. You know what I'm saying?
When they wide open, they can hit them. The Cavaliers give up the most wide open threes in the NBA.
Like shot makers. They don't have that. The highest one on their team, I think, is Brandon Ingram, and he had 32, 8, something like that from 3-point land. No, Scotty Barnes is the worst out of the 3. You know what I'm saying? Scotty Barnes really get his off of, more or less like playmaking, like what they call a hockey assist. He'll set something up, dish it off, he'll get it back, or he getting offensive rebounds. Scotty Barnes. RJ Barrett, he might be the only one out of the 3 that you just said that can hit an open shot. If you just stand there and give it to him, hit an open shot. So I would give you that to a certain extent. I think what came out with Toronto and the Cavs this season, one, I don't think Toronto, as you said, faced us at home. We didn't have Darius Garland. I think Evan Mobley missed 2 of them games, if I'm not mistaken. So we wasn't at full strength with Toronto. And again, Toronto started off the season when they was on all cylinders just balling. But after the All-Star break, Toronto was bottom 10, bottom 15 and defensive efficiency, which before the All-Star break, they was top 10. Offensively, they started, RJ Barrett missed a whole bunch of games. Emmanuel Quickly missed a whole bunch of games, which, by the way, he is their best playmaker for real, and assist guy, Emmanuel Quickly. He missed a lot of time. Scotty Barnes missed like 5-6 games in this whole span. And offensively, they just, I don't, there was another one of those things. We just got to talk about Orlando, how defensively they just fell off offensively. I don't know what happened to Toronto. They was top 5. I'm glad you said that too. They was top 5 in NBA half court sets, half court offense. They was top 15, I think 12th. They was 12th and scoring points off of creating turnovers. I don't know how much of the percentage was the three. I didn't look that up, but I do know they was top 12 in scoring points off of creating turnovers from their defense. Toronto is a good team, but I just think going into this series, now they're going to have to see both our bigs at the same time, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, and we see how much their game changed around since adding James Harden. And that's another one they're going to have to see is James Harden. Our team is not the same from when they said this early in the season. We didn't have a Dennis Schroeder, we didn't have a Keon Ellis, we didn't have a James Harden, we didn't have Matt Strus. We didn't have the All-Star playing as they is. I'm not saying he was an All-Star this year. I'm saying they're playing like All-Stars. If they would have had him at the beginning of the season, they probably been in the All-Star game.
Right.
Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Right. I just think, one, I'm going to agree with you as far as defensively, because I've been harping that all season. Defensively, if we don't come out here and play defense, I done said it all season. Kenny Atkinson been stressing that for the past month in and out the season. They're going to be an early bounce. Toronto go get us. Toronto go get us. Offensively, we just got to play real efficient. We got to play smart, good basketball. I know James Harden going to be James Harden. Spider going to be Spider. But it's going to rest on the shoulders of Evan Mobley. I've been saying it all season. Evan Mobley has to be, if not our best player, damn sure our second best player. He got to come out here and get us that Miami game. He had, 22 and 13? But the way...
I remember I said that for the Cavaliers to be really good, Mobley have to average at least 20 to 23 points a game. And Harden, I'm talking about they have to at least combine for 50 points between them two.
You did say that on the last show, but I don't recall. I know it was me that was saying Evan Mobley got to get 23 and 15 a night in the playoffs. The Cavs going to be successful.
Right.
Moving on. So he's going to be the key to all of this. He's going to be the key to all of this. And defensively, he got to anchor the defense. Damn it. We won. You won the Defensive Player of the Year award last year. Our defense was manageable. Right. Damn it. Get back to that this fucking playoffs. Because while we sit up here trying to be slick and not win certain games because we don't want to see a certain team right now, and as you say, and I give it to you, you got to see that team at sometime down the road anyway. So for me, the Cavaliers got to do those things in order for them to be successful against the Toronto Raptors. The Knicks and the Hawks, I think the Knicks could be in trouble. I can see this being an upset series. Atlanta is another team. We talked about the Hornets that have been playing great basketball down the stretch of the season to end the season. Their offense have stepped up. Their defense became a top 10 defense in the NBA. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is playing like he about to win the Comeback Player of the Year award.
He should too. He should though. As much as he improved his game from you can really see how he improved in when he was playing with the Pelicans, but he took that from the Pelicans up to another notch when he got to the Hawks. So
he was from Minnesota last year.
I mean Minnesota, yeah. But you can see his game really step up from Minnesota to Atlanta. He played great defense. His scoring went up. I guess a change of scenery is always good when you be able to get the ball in your hand more, you know. But
which I was about to say, I'm glad you said that because I was about to say his assists went up.
Yeah.
A career
his usage went up. When you got more use, when you have a ball in your hand more, you can do better things. On the New York side, at least in New York, in the last 16 games, they 12-4. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
They 12-4. So they come into the playoff a little hot right now. Jalen Brunson and Cat is playing really well right now.
He will be the one if New York go win this series. Karl Anthony Towns is going to have to dominate and have his way. I'm sorry.
I don't think he.
I'm sorry.
You think Cat like that though?
Should he play wild enough? He's going to hit the basket wild enough to, you know what I'm saying? Like
Cat getting in foul trouble too much for me.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said he's going to have to be that. He's going to have to be able to find a way to stay on the floor.
It's going to have to be Jalen Brunson.
I mean, Big Body Brunson going to do what Big Body Brunson do.
Or either Brunson or Mikal Bridges is gonna have to do it because Jalen Johnson gonna between them two, they're gonna have to switch on OG and Jalen Johnson. OG and Miles Bridges gonna have a fit checking them.
Now OG Anunoby, down the stretch, the end of the season has been playing good basketball. He's been shooting the past 7-8 games, 41%, 41.5% three-point land, averaging 20.6 points a game. Down the stretch of the season, one of the best corner three-point shooters, you know what I'm saying, in the NBA down the stretch of the season. So he's been playing well. But Carl and Mikal Bridges, don't even get me started with him, man. Like all that the Knicks gave up for.
Oh, they paid a lot of money too.
All them first round picks and he got another extension too.
Yeah. Like
he's gonna have to play better, but I just don't see it happening with him. I just think it's gonna come down to the player Carl Anthony Towns in order for the Knicks to win this series against the Hawks, which I'm going with the upset.
You going with the Hawks?
I'm going with the Hawks to upset the Knicks in this series. Yeah, this series. And
this is gonna be a tough series because once again the Knicks are playing well down the stretch. Mike Brown does have
home court.
Yeah, Mike Brown does have playoff coaching experience over the coaching.
So the Quinn.
But I'm about to say this, but have Quinn Snyder get past the first or second round with his coaching? Because in Utah, Donovan, but in Utah, that was talking about. That's why Donovan Mitchell left because they couldn't get past the second round.
Nah, I think it was
Mike Brown has been to the conference finals, so it's gonna be a coaching match too.
Okay, and who did he have? Goat James. Everybody ain't gonna have a Goat James.
Hey, I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna even do that because all they're gonna do is get shut down. So I'm not gonna say, well, yeah, Donovan Mitchell was averaging down there 40 points in the
Mitchell, LeBron James. No,
I thought that's why I said.
Quinn Snyder had some good seasons.
Oh no, Quinn Snyder has a great season.
I think that whole thing with Utah just blew up, and I think that's when COVID really was happening. And
right,
Rudy Gobert, you know what I'm saying, like playing around too much, and that's when him and Donovan Mitchell lightweight clash, and then you know.
But Quinn Snyder's a good coach.
I mean, so I could give him a tie if you like coaching matchups or whatever.
You know what? To be honest, coaching wise, if you just strictly talk about S and O's on the offensive side of the ball, Quinn Snyder. On the defensive side of the ball, Mike Brown. So that's Mike Brown's specialty. You know what I'm saying? Defense.
Mike Brown over there in Sacramento, and I mean they was a good team, but defensively they was kind of
man. Look who they had. Defense. They had what?
I mean, the Knicks had a good defense, but they like their defense is shutting people down.
But at least they got somebody who can play the perimeter. They got perimeter guards like Miles Bridges. I mean, Mikal Bridges and OG.
So do the Hawks.
No, the Hawks got Jalen Johnson and the center. Okay, not pronounce.
They got Jalen Johnson who could go out there and guard. They got
Dyson.
Dyson Daniels who could go out there and guard.
Nikhil Anderson.
Yeah.
So they got some guards.
And now got Jonathan Kuminga, who's been playing good basketball.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the guy Kuminga.
And another veteran, the Gabe Wilson, that could come off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
And the center, the Nigerian dude. You know.
So I think they could match up wide. They could match up with the Knicks, and they could give the Knicks problems. Now the question is they're going to bring that physicality to New York, as we know New York is going to bring to Atlanta.
It's going to be about their bench too. I think the bench going to come into play.
Atlanta got a better bench. Then on the flip end of that, it's going to be, can the Knicks keep up the pace that Atlanta like to play? So it's going to be a very good series. I can see the series going 7. I definitely can see it going 7. But I'm gonna take.
You'll take the Hawks.
I'm gonna take the Hawks to win this series.
Well, I'm gonna take the veteran team that been there the most. So I'm going with the Knicks because they got home court advantage too. So
they do got home court advantage. But I'm still gonna take Atlanta. I just think Atlanta right now has been playing great basketball. One of the hottest.
Atlanta. Remember, we was talking about we.
Yeah, I said it a couple of shows ago. Out of all these teams in the playoffs, I think the Atlanta Hawks is gonna be the one team that's gonna scare me if we had to play them in the first round.
Yeah, because they can shoot the ball well too.
And then I saw the game that we played against them last Wednesday, and I'm like, huh? Yeah,
they came back.
They came back. They came back. But I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree with what the commentators were saying. Atlanta really didn't face us this year either with our two bigs. We too big. Right. We too big for Atlanta. But great show, man. Great show. Great conversation. I appreciate everybody that tuned in on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel for more content like we see tonight. And I definitely always appreciate those that tuned in on the DSMN Network, the best network in the land. For myself, for Kels, y'all stay safe. I'm going to catch y'all Friday, same time, same place. Friday, all WWE show with my man Blaze. WrestleMania is this weekend. You know, they're going to be having some things popping up on SmackDown Friday. We're going to talk about all that. So make sure y'all Friday, 7 p.m. But from now to then, y'all stay safe, man. Always keep it positive, productive, protect the peace, protect the space. For myself, for Kels, we out of here, y'all. Deuce.
Yeah. Cavalier mentality, I charge through every bracket. King on the court, LeBron legacy in my fabric. Ground when I'm grinding, dog pound in the trenches. Guardian at the gate, protecting all my riches. Cavs in my veins, championship parade route. Browns in the mud, fourth quarter, never doubt. Guardians of tradition, progressive, feel my temple. Training like I'm drafted, work ethic monumental. In the zone, can't stop my ascension in the zone. Discipline my weapon in the zone. Greatness by intention in the zone. It's my resurrection in the soul.